Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to talk about a brand new release from the house by Kilian. So if you're curious to know more about that, don't go away. So welcome back everyone. As always, if you haven't already, I would love it if you can support my channel by clicking the subscribe button down below and the bell. That way, as soon as I upload a new video, you'll be the first to know about it. So as I mentioned, this is a brand new release from the house by Kilian. They put out some of my favorite dark, mysterious, sexy, alluring fragrances that I have in my collection or have really ever smelled. So this one is one out of two fragrances that have just launched. I believe actually the launch date will be October 1st. I got this actually on a pre-order. So this is going to be one out of two. The other one is called Roses on Ice. And Roses on Ice is a really beautiful, very unique rose. So if you're a rose lover, check that one out. This one is called Angel Share. So what is Angel Share? Well, Angel Share is meant to describe the process, the natural process that happens when whiskey, which is normally distilled in like wooden casks or wooden barrels, when it evaporates into the air, because the wood in those barrels or casks are porous, as it evaporates into the air, a small amount goes up, and that amount of distilled spirit is called Angel Share. And what is quite appropriate about the name of this fragrance is that this bottle actually looks like a bottle of whiskey, or rather a glass of whiskey. It looks like you're actually drinking a glass of either bourbon whiskey, rye whiskey, scotch, whatever, but it looks like you're drinking whiskey, which I really love. As a whiskey drinker myself, I think this is really cool. So the bottle itself is very, very heavy. The base of this bottle is quite heavy. It's all glass. The one thing I don't love, to be honest with you, if I can be honest, is this top is plastic. Now I understand that they didn't want to make the bottle itself overly heavy, but I wish they made this out of glass, not plastic. I know for $195, you're not gonna get as high quality as presentation, like let's say of a Apple Brandy or a Straight to Heaven Extreme, which costs more money. But for $195, I think you should still get a pretty decent presentation, which you do, but I still think the top, if it was glass, I would still pay more for that. So that would just add to the overall presentation value. So let's talk about the actual, just the box for 1 second. The box is a very kind of simplistic Kilian box, not much going on here. Just says the name of the fragrance on the front, a little bit of a description on the back with the batch code. The bottle sits right here in the base, in the inlay. It's kind of like this velvety, sort of velvet foam. Nothing super special there, but I love the bottle, so super unique bottle. Now, the sprayer on this thing is like monstrous. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a very powerful, very streamlined sprayer. So what does it smell like? That's what we care about, right? What does it smell like? I really love this one. I've been wearing this one for about a week. I've been sampling it for about a week. And I knew as soon as I smelled it, I was going to love it. As someone who loves boozy fragrances like Apple Brandy, Straight to Heaven Extreme, Single Malt, I just love those types of boozy fragrances from by Kilian. And this one is no different. Now it opens up with a very boozy, fruity, somewhat green cognac note. And then it's right away you're met with this cinnamon here. The cinnamon is very reminiscent of Parfums de Marly Awajan, but it goes in a bit of a different direction as it starts drying down. But I definitely get that similarity between Awajan and Angel Share in the opening in terms of the cinnamon. And the cinnamon is very warm. It kind of gives you a kind of a tender feeling, and it's harmonized and met with this tonka bean. And the tonka bean paired with that cinnamon gives me kind of like a Cinnabon feel, like almost like a Cinnabon accord, like you're eating a Cinnabon, right? And as it's starting to dry down into the heart, you get this oak. Now the oak is almost like you're smelling this cask of whiskey that's earthy and woody. So you're getting this cognac boozy, warm, kind of Cinnabon-y vibe that's somewhat woody, which I really, really love. In the base is where I think this fragrance really starts to shine, because in the base you get this praline accord that gives almost like this gourmand aspect, and the praline accord is somewhat syrupy and lactonic, which I really love about this one. And as it starts even getting drier into the base, it starts going into the sandalwood, which is buttery and milky and giving it this oriental feel. And this vanilla, which paired with a tonka bean, is started to give this kind of a sweet, playful vibe. And those notes, that cinnamon, that praline, that cognac, and that sandalwood, as well as that vanilla, they all are blended very, very well. But for me, what I get for the lifespan of this fragrance is that boozy accord, that cinnamon, and that vanilla with a touch of that buttery sandalwood. It stays with me through the life of this fragrance, and I really love it. I think it's really exquisite. It's just really, it's really good. It's really, really good. So longevity on this one isn't bad. It's not amazing. I get about 5 or 6 hours. Not something that is, you know, to write home about. You're not getting 3 hours, which is pretty terrible. But you're not getting 12 hours. The projection is pretty great actually. Over the first 2 to 3 hours as you wear it, it does project a good 3 or 4 feet. I can definitely smell it around me as I'm walking, turning my head, whatever. I do think this is very much a unisex fragrance, and at times as I'm wearing it, it actually does lean somewhat masculine, but it definitely is a unisex fragrance. Men and women can wear this with no problem. That being said, this is definitely a fall-winter fragrance. This will shine when it starts getting colder and colder out. And I think this is something that you're gonna wanna pair with a nicer outfit, a nice, something that's gonna be more classy or sophisticated, a little bit more daring, if you will. If you want to even if you want to dress somewhat casual, with a leather jacket or a kind of a nice semi-casual outfit, but still somewhat sophisticated, this will definitely work. I just don't think it's going to work with someone that's actually very casual, like shorts and a t-shirt or sweatpants. It's not going to work on that kind of occasion. But this one is absolutely stunning. It definitely sits up there with my favorite boozy fragrances from by Kilian. Like I said, single malt, apple brandy, straight to heaven extreme. If you guys haven't already, definitely get your nose on this one. This is gonna be a huge seller, I think, from by Kilian. If you're a boozy fan, you're gonna love it 100%. I don't think this is gonna disappoint you. So let me know down below in the comments, have you tried this one, or how are you still waiting to get your nose on this one? And what is your favorite boozy fragrance? I would love to know. As always, thank you all so much for supporting my channel and watching my review. I really appreciate it. Stay safe and take care of each other. Bye, guys.